Edward, and welcome back to Terraria Blue Mage Challenge. Well, last episode, we did a lot of talking, didn't we? Yeah, but it needed to be done so that we don't have to do that anymore. Is what I wanted to have happen, but I forgot the next step of our Terraria adventure. Well, Orbo, I forgot about finding the temple, and then exploring the temple so we can get on to Solar Eclipse, Martian Invasion, Golem, Empress of Light, and all that. So, yeah, I forgot about that. We have to explore the dungeon, then we can get on to fight after fight after fight. Now, that being said, I have done work off camera. Yes, we've been on vacation, but we've also done some work. Hey, it had to be done, Orbo. It had to be done. So, the first thing we did is, well, I guess I can show you. We did a lot of farming. So, as you can see, we did get our weapons, and I will show you the banners. But we now have a Shadow Beam, Inferno Fork, and Spectre Staff. Which, I think Inferno Fork is going to be good against Golem. And I can't really say much about the other ones. Maybe Spectre Staff is going to be good? I don't know. I've never used these weapons. And while I was trying to find the temple, I did find it. I got some better B-Wings, which, yes, are an upgrade to our current wings. Not in terms of modifiers, but I could just slap lucky on that eventually. Because luckily we have a lot of money. And of course, because we are farming dungeons for these weapons, we got plenty of Spectre bars for our Spectre armor, which is special. Also, I got the Spectre tools because, you know, why not? Spectre pickaxe, Spectre hand axe. I figured it was probably about time for an upgrade, right? Oh, and apparently I did have a bug net, so I had to go buy one so I could catch these. Anyways, so the Spectre set. As you know, we have Hallowed right now, which gives us the ability to go immune after a strike. Pretty useful, right? Well, this set is also pretty good. So first we equip the pants and the chest plate. Now you notice we have two different heads. The mask and the hood. And you may notice, the mask says 18 defense, increases maximum mana, blah blah blah. Whereas it just says 6 defense. Well, there's a reason for that. If I equip the hood, you'll notice now we have a set bonus, reduces magic damage by 40%, but it converts it into a healing force that heals the lowest player, and when you're solo, it heals you. So essentially, you lose all your buffs, you lose 40% of your damage, but you can heal. Pretty useful, right? Yeah, especially when your potion's on down. But if you equip your actual proper mask, you'll see we have a set bonus of Magic Den will hurt nearby enemies. So basically you have one heals, one does extra damage. Now, there's a special elite gamer move you can do with this armor. First, I gotta put this away because it might be useful later. Well, you see in Terraria, if I go to my... Nah, I won't do that. There's a setting that, see, when I go to my menu, my inventory, whatever, the game pauses. That's not by default. The game's actually supposed to be going in the background. I only do that because I tend to do a lot of work in my inventory and, well, nothing worse than when you're like, start of a new day. Let me check my inventory real quick, and it's nighttime. So I have it set to this. Now, the reason I bring it up is because mid-fight, what you can do is simply switch your helmet. Originally, the game would have it to where, again, the boss would be still attacking you, but if you turn the setting on that I have, you could just stop, and now I have healing, and I'm at full, so I can... And now I'm back to doing damage. Will I do that? Probably not, but I'm not above trying it. Mostly I just stick with the hood because healing's useful. But yeah, so that's a cool option we have with this set. And then of course we have the temple key because I did find the temple. I transformed a truffle, or I made a glow mushroom buff biome into a truffle worm farm. I'll show you that in a second. As well as I caught some late swing. They just spawn so they're easy to catch. They take a while, but they're easy. As well as I have done some preparing, I believe in this chest. Yes, I have extra ectoplasm and chlorophyte, as well as I made a bunch of mechanical skulls. Well, the answer's simple. You need Souls of Fright, which you get from skeleton prime, plus ectoplasm, I believe, to make the naughty present, which is how you summon the frost moon, which is the event we'll be doing, besides Martian invasion. We'll be skipping pumpkin, but yeah, so those are those. I did have to do a few more fights to get more souls for the wings. But yeah, so I did a lot off camera, but let me show you what that all looks like. So if you'll follow me real quick, and cut, and here we are. As you can see, we're in my little farm, but it looks a little different, don't it? Yeah, so this is how you make an artificial dungeon farm. I don't know how many layers of brick. I like to do 3, this time I like to do 4 because it looks better. So that way they have an actual dungeon platform to spawn on, as well as the place where you have to stand is also dungeon. And then these are cursed dungeon walls, which is easy. You make dungeon wall, and you throw into some shimmer. Couldn't be simpler. Now if you mine it up, it won't work. So yeah, always have shimmer. And I made a black candle, a shadow candle, which, basically gets rid of the village buff / debuff over here. So that way I can actually farm creatures. And yeah, you notice there's only one tile type? Well, that's because, thanks to the farm, I put up one tile type. Once I got that farm done, I put up the next tile, and then the last tile. Made it easier to farm one by one. And in case you're wondering if this actually works, let me show you. So I'm just standing here, I'm standing here, and yep, because of the walls, the Diabolus has spawned, which is what gives me the Inferno Fork. Now, let me just turn this off real quick and teleport back, but, oh yeah, first, my 3 banners. As you can see, Necromancer, which is what gives Shadow Beam, Ragged Caster, which gives us a Spectre, and Diabolus, which gave us the Inferno Fork. We did get the banners, and it took a long time. Please excuse the particle effects. But yeah, as you can see, that's what the Diabolus attack looks like, and this is the Inferno Fork. Pretty much the same thing. Now look at that. Look how many people I've destroyed. Anyways, I'm not keeping this because reasons. But yeah, did all that farming, got some more weapons, don't know how effective they are. In fact, they do less damage than my Inferno Fork, or my Trident. Yeah, it's a little weird. But I didn't keep any of the money, because, well, obviously I kept dying. But luckily, I did get a bunch of loot. Now, I wish I could use Magnosphere as a personal favorite weapon of mine, but it's not a blue spell, so these will be sold. They get some Morning Stars to sell, some Broken Shadow Lances, Jousting Lances, whatever to sell, a couple key brands, a yo-yo, some sniper rifles, some SWAT gear. We did luckily get the belt, which, again, we need for accessory. I'll show you that in a second. And then, of course, we got the tabby, which is also needed. We got some bandages and some armor polish. Got a bunch of souls of light for farming up later. Some bones, some keys. Even got a few ribs. But luckily, most of the stuff's just going to go for selling. Anyways, let me back out of here. And now nothing happened. I swear nothing happened. So, I'm gonna have to find them late. Wait, are they right there? No, that's Rain Song. When I get that. Anyways, if you'll follow me here, these... Okay, I need to find my Tire Climbing Claws. But basically, you combine all this and you get an item that lets you dash and chance to dodge, which will replace our brain. But we'll do that off camera. Because right now, I promised this episode... Oh, actually, first... my truffle farm. Luckily though, we can just cut and be right back. And here we are. Nothing fancy, just a couple rows for truffle worms to spawn on. Make it long enough so that way they can spawn off camera. Basically, come down here, you run back, and in one spawn, you catch in a bug net. It's simple, it works, it's not the most effective, but who needs effective when you have all the time in the world, right? Yeah, so enough of this nonsense. Let's get on to some actual gameplay and head off to the temple. So we can collect solar fragments, power cells, and next episode actually get to the solar eclipse, which is what we're supposed to do this time, but yeah, I'm a fool. Shut up. Anyways, off to the temple, and here we are at the temple. Now we will probably die quite a few times, but let's see how far we can get on our first run. Key has been used, and let's go. Now you gotta be very careful, Orbo, because there's a ton of traps in here. And some good loot, don't get me wrong, power cells are nice, lizard fur sure, but here's what we want, the solar temple fragments. And what a great start, all these spikes in the way trying to take our life before we even have a chance to explore. Let's grab these. There you go, okay. You know what, new weapons, let's test out Spectre Staff. Which, yes, is just homing. Which is why it does less damage. Oh, careful. Traps right there, and chance to dodge. Perfect. So, as you can see, Spectre Stuff, pretty good because of its ability to home in. And it doesn't really seem to do that much in terms of mana. Let's see, it does 90 versus our 150, but to not have to aim seems pretty good. We'll just grab these, because these are what we want. That should be enough for a solar temple fragment thingy. Tablet. Okay, Inferno Fork. Yeah, you see, it's good for stationary enemies, but if they could move or take knockback, not so much, which is why it's going to be pretty good against Golem. Golem's a pretty stationary enemy if you know what you're doing. And yeah, those little spirits you see are the effect of the damage version of this helmet. Pretty good. Adding additional damage to what you have. And yes, it does stop wherever it hits. So if it hits a flying enemy, it's going to just fly there. As you can see, pretty good damage, because although it does less damage, it does also 100. It will continuously hit whoever's standing there. And our last weapon is the Shadow Beam, which I like the idea of, but in terms of practicality, not so much. And now, hey, an actual solar temple fragment. Nice, guess I grabbed that. Careful of these booby traps, okay, perfect. So yeah, as you can see, this is the Shadow Beam. It bounces like crazy. So if you have a farm setup, probably pretty good, but I don't know why you wouldn't use the other ones. It is rapid fire though. Ooh, I forgot to test out about the other ones. Inferno, are you rapid fire? No, you're single, how about Spectre? Spectre is rapid fire. Cool. Good to know. So overall, they're powerful. Shadow Beam, probably good against Golem as well. But other than that, I'm not going to really have a use for it. Spectre, on the other hand, probably going to be pretty... Okay, yeah, see? Now watch. I've taken some damage. Spectre Hood. And now I heal. And get a few shots in. And look at this. I'm practically to full. And now I am full. And now I switch back. And now I do damage. So, yeah, that's kind of a cheat you can do, although it is an option you can just turn on. So, yeah, don't know how you feel about that one, don't know how I feel about that. Let me know if you want me to use that or not in the comments below. Right, Orbo? Yeah, I know, hurry up, this video is a little long. Sorry, I have some more explaining to do. But, I was gonna say, luckily, we're right here at... Ow! Traps. Nope, this is a golem chamber, and... we got a pretty good one. Because, well, not because of traps, because you have to drop in, which means it's easy to spawn proof. And it's pretty wide. Ow, take the hit. And enemies. Nope, I'm done. At least we made it to the end. So yeah, now that we have the temple unlocked, lizards drop temple fragments and power cells, we can now power through to the end of the game. And honestly, surprised by the Spectre stuff. And that's all I can really say. Inferno Fork and Shadow Beam I already knew, which is why I never used them. But yeah, this Spectre stuff might be... Let me just check something. Let's see, it has a 49% chance to crit, so it's a little less. It uses about the same, but the ability to track is really useful. If you can hit your target, probably should go with this, but... Oh, this one uses 5 mana per shot. Okay, this might be better than I thought against. You know what? We have 5 ways of spawning Golem. We might have to use each of these weapons on him once. Once with the Trident, once with the Fork, Once with the Shadow and once with Spectre, after we reforged him, obviously. But yeah, so with all that being said, I'm sorry for another talkative episode. Kind of forgot I had to go find the temple in the first place. But now we can get on to... Actually, you know what? We'll fight Golem, then we'll take on the Solar Eclipse, and then blah blah blah. I know I promised Solar Eclipse next, but... I kind of want to take on Golem now that I have all these weapons to try out. Oh well, that'll happen next time. I can't wait. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed gaming. This has been The Mechanist, logging off. Until next time.